Hello and welcome to another MCO market update on Bitcoin. We are here on the daily time frame, and yeah, I mean, Bitcoin moved up nicely from the 7th of April low. But since then, since the market reached this resistance level, the 61.8 retracement at around 94,250, it's just been dancing around this level. It's a key level. Yes, we are holding above it. We're nearly at 95k. However, this level is still important because we're dancing up and down around it, right? We are kind of consolidating, oscillating around this 61.8 retracement. So the fact that we're just above it doesn't mean we have really formed a decisive break above it. So this is definitely still interesting to watch because we have no rejection, no objective rejection from the resistance area, and the view is still that we could move higher. Okay, there's no change to scenarios, and therefore, my preferred interpretation is still that we are in the white scenario, which means in this A wave to the upside. Yeah, quick reminder, the move to the upside is seen as a fifth wave. Okay, after a larger degree fifth wave started in August 2024, and then this would be a 5-wave move itself. The dip into the April support area, or the dip into the support area in April, was a fourth wave in that fifth wave to the upside. Yeah, in this fifth wave. And Elliott Wave tells us it should be a 5-wave move, right? And we just need to understand what the microstructure is going to be like. Because I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to these structures, looking at the nanostructures of the waves 1 and 3 reveal that we're likely dealing with a diagonal pattern. The depth of the pullback also makes that quite likely. So the fifth wave is likely going to be an ABC structure. Last week, I think, someone asked in our member live stream, isn't this pullback in the fourth wave here, circle 4, pullback that started here in December? You could also say maybe in January, but it doesn't matter so much. And isn't that kind of too deep to be a wave 4 compared to that wave 2 before? And no, I said no. I mean, surely time-wise it's stretched out, but that's not invalid or anything, right? And from a pullback point of view, I mean, the 50% retracement is even in an impulsive pattern acceptable. So, I mean, maybe this is even an impulse, but I'd rather treat it as a diagonal. So, to give it a little bit more space, and also the microstructure, in my view, rather lends itself to be interpreted as diagonal. And the depth, just the look of it just looks more like a diagonal. It doesn't look particularly impulsive. So the move up currently should be an ABC structure. We might be in the A wave. The A wave can be a 5-wave pattern or a 3-wave pattern. And at the moment it's in 3 waves, but I keep the door open for higher prices to form all 5 waves. So we probably haven't topped yet in the A wave. And over the coming, let's say weeks, we should, or maybe days, weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, we should see it stretch a little higher to complete a 5-wave move in wave A. Now, bear in mind, A waves can be 3-wave movements, but we're holding above all support levels, yeah? And even if there is a setback, it could just be some kind of an internal wave 4 of wave A, but I'm going to show you that on the smaller time frame in a minute. Overall situation, yeah, still looking good. The red scenario is the bearish case. Okay, there's always a bullish and a bearish case, so we know what are the levels that need to hold to keep the bullish uptrend alive. And of course, we will talk about these levels on the smaller time frame, but for now, the red scenario is only there, only as a bearish alternative, which means that we are potentially already in a bear market, but there's, at the moment, very limited evidence for that, not enough for me to confirm that or to call a top. I know a lot of people have already called for a bear market. I haven't. I've highlighted the risk. We could have topped, but I've marked it with a question mark and highlighted, look, we need more evidence. Because, thousands of people watch these updates. We've got thousands of people in our membership. And I'm all for evidence and everything, but not for, like, Twitter style, giving my opinion and then people make wrong decisions because they just listen to someone who has an opinion, right? But MCO is all about facts and data. And when we don't have sufficient evidence that supports that a major top has formed, yeah, I'm not going to confirm it, right? All I can do, and that's professional analysis, is to highlight when the risk is high, which it was here, because we were far away from support. For those of you who don't know, this support area was already communicated in December, January, so the risk was quite high. Why is the risk high? Because it's the distance from the price to support. The further away we are, the higher the risk naturally, right? You always need to think about it that way, that if you hold a position and we're up here, right, are you willing to stomach, are you willing to accept a correction into this area? And if you are, all good. Position has a good, decent size, small enough to stomach that. Maybe you took already some profits, but if you're all in up here and then the price drops like 25% or so, well, that's difficult to take in. That's not everybody likes to do that. And if you can answer the question in a way that it says, well, no, I can't stomach that, well, then it should be time to take some profits maybe. Only you can decide that, because it depends on your own risk profile and risk tolerance, right? Now let's take a look at the smaller time frame as well. And not so much happened since yesterday. We are still holding above all support levels, and really the market has reacted to this nano support area we discussed yesterday, which is between 93,226 and 93,950. You might remember from the last video that I explained to you and warned you, highlighted that this level is probably going to be tough resistance, because we had 3 rejections there already. And yep, after the last video then price got rejected as well, but we haven't broken below the low, so it starts to form this kind of triangle shape here. So that's what I'm watching today. Can we break out of this triangle? I think a break to the upside from the triangle could send us to 96,275, 96,450 next. Maybe even 97,585 if we don't see any weakness. That would be in the yellow count, or maybe even one more high in the white extended B wave there before we form the larger fourth wave. So we are in a fourth wave mess. Wave 4 patterns are usually messy. So that kind of confirms my perspective that we are in a fourth wave, okay? Because, it's all about evidence. So thesis has been for a few days that we are in a fourth wave. So anybody who watched the videos knows that. Fourth waves are not so much about understanding the nano patterns well, because they change very often. It's more about understanding what the key levels are for risk management, and they are all listed on the charts, but I want to still keep the door open for higher, okay? That's still my main thesis. Higher prices, either directly in the yellow scenario, one more high, then the wave 4, then we go higher, or we are already in the larger degree fourth wave, and then this is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and then we go higher. So I think it's quite simple. I mean, someone commented yesterday that they don't see the value of the smaller time frame charts at the moment. I don't know. There are too many scenarios or something. I mean, I don't know. It's quite simple. I mean, they all point higher. The analysis, right? Still looking for higher. I can tell you when we start. When does this scenario break? Told you that. It's below 84,526. With that information, you've got everything. You've got the next levels to watch to the upside, next upside targets. You've got a couple of interpretations of the nano patterns, but don't even focus so much on these. Focus more on the levels. And the idea that we're in a wave 4, okay? And I mean, the market should reveal soon which wave degree it is, but overall, I don't see any evidence that the top is in yet, okay? So I don't know why this would be complicated, but okay. You can always ask if you have questions, guys. We've got our membership there. We've got a forum. You can ask questions there. I typically answer. The team answers. The community answers. We've got much learning content there as well, right? So if you have any questions about Elliott Wave, it will be answered there typically. We've got our member live streams. So if you struggle to understand the analysis, these are typically the best ways to get in contact, get in touch, especially the Sunday member live streams. I can only repeat it. There are many questions in the comments. I have only limited time to answer these. I do obviously prioritize member questions there, but the best way to get questions answered is in our live stream every Sunday. We also cover lots of coins there. There are member videos as well. I think yesterday I covered Pepe. There was another coin as well. Today there will be a Brett member update. Okay, so because Brett looks impulsive potentially, so just wanted to explain that in a video. So yeah, there are lots of updates. Check it out. I hope to see you there. Thank you very much. Bye bye.